Hi there, my name is Cora and I'm a quantum energy healer. I do past life regression or quantum regression, which can give the opportunity for healing. And I also do Akashic readings and Akashic healing sessions and quantum healing, which is kind of a form of Reiki, but it can be done long distance. So I can do all of this over the internet because I work in the quantum field, which is sort of the astral layer. So I can see things within the quantum. I can access people's Akashic records to ask specific questions that they may need clarity on. And anything that you're struggling in your current lifetime, I can ask to be shown the root of that. So the very seed point of when that issue started, and then I can follow it back right to the root and the seed point. And oftentimes I'll be told exactly where it all began, and I'll be shown maybe a past life, and it may have the origin in a past life, or I'll be told clairaudiently or clairvoyantly. So I may see images, or I may be told specifically, just to help the client once we meet. So I wanted to share a recent extract from a recent session that I did, which was really beautiful. So this was with a friend who is also a practitioner. She's a lovely, beautiful soul. And we found out in this session that we'd both been partners in a galactic lifetime. So one of the very first galactic lifetimes I was ever shown was on the planet of Lyra, and I was a female. And I was shown that we were exiting the planet and it was under attack from the Draco reptilians. And this was prior to the planet Lyra exploding. And I sort of did a bit of research afterwards. I saw a battle scene on the planet, and then I saw shooting coming down to the planet. And then as we exited the planet and we were in the spaceship, looking back at the planet, I saw it explode. And then I saw us go onto a water-covered planet, and then I think that we went on to Sirius after that. So that was the next stage of our spiritual journey, our sort of soul's journey. And this lady I discovered had been with me. We've been partners on that planet in Lyra, which was amazing because I was told this prior to the session. I was shown it. I saw the image. I saw that past life again. I saw that masculine, divine masculine presence with me. And then I realized when we had the session, she told me exactly the same. She said we were partners on Lyra. So it was confirmation for what I'd seen and what I'd been shown as well, which was beautiful. It's lovely when you get that confirmation because then you know that it's accurate. So it's just nice to have the confirmation sometimes. But anyway, it was just a beautiful session. And I just wanted to share it because information came forward for me and for her as well. But information about the fact that how it is that we're raising our frequency, because quite oftentimes people imagine as you're raising your frequency, you just get lighter and lighter and lighter, and you become more and more able to cope. But what is happening with these increasing intense light coming into the planet is forcing up the darkness. So it's forcing out the darkness from us. So quite oftentimes when there's this big influx of light coming in, my children will be much more irritable than normal, and then I'll be more reactive, and then I'll be extremely tired at night and I'll need to go to sleep early, etc., etc. So it affects everybody differently, but generally speaking, it'll give you the opportunity in every breathing moment to make better choices and to improve the way that you react and to be less reactive and to sort of make choices from a different perspective. And I think I just felt like recently I had these two sessions. So when were they? So it was over the full moon. So it was the 22nd and the 23rd of May. So it was over the full moon energy. And it was a really beautiful opportunity to reflect on how far we've grown over the past few years, for all of us, for the practitioner, me, and for my two clients. Just we were given the opportunity or the message to sort of look back at how far we've come, basically, which has been something that I've been doing quite a lot recently because I'm in the process of thinking of moving house. And a lot of people at the moment, I feel, are shifting as well where their location is. So we are being pushed or sort of given the nudge to sort of find our correct position for this next stage of this spiritual journey on earth, as we're aiding and assisting with the rising of the frequency and aiding and assisting with the ascension process, because a lot of us have come here to do that. That's what we're here for. We've already ascended on some level, and we are now helping the rest of the population that chooses to do so to also continue on their own ascension journey. So that's what we volunteered to come in to do. And that is, doesn't mean that we're perfect and we get everything right and we know everything, because we're on our own ascension journey as well. But obviously we're sort of, a lot of us can be the forerunners. So our gifts have opened up and we're aware of what's happening and we've learned about our soul history, and then we're able to do that for others. So we're able to offer that opportunity to others to help them to better understand their own soul journey and their own soul's history, and etc. etc. So anyway, this was just a really beautiful reminder about the energies, and just a beautiful reminder just to forgive ourselves, because quite oftentimes in lifetimes where we see the one lifetime where we've played a certain role, the roles will reverse, and that gives us an opportunity for deep understanding from both sides of the story. So that's the way that we can forgive, like, wholeheartedly, without holding any judgment, because we understand what it's like to play both sides of that. We understand what it's like to not be perfect ourselves. So once we know that, then we can be in full forgiveness and understanding of others, and it's much, much easier. But ultimately, what I learned recently was that karmic balancing is not about tit for tat. It's not about you did this to me, I'll do it to you. It's ultimately all boils down to forgiving ourselves. And that was quite a profound realization for me. Self-forgiveness is the absolute key, because it's all sort of within our imagination, really. We sort of construct all of this for our own learning, and we only think that we've done these things wrong. And, like, we are perfect immortal beings of light, all of us. And it's only within our imagination that we sort of put this pressure on ourselves, that we feel that we're wrong. So it's remembering that we're on a learning journey, to forgive ourselves every step of the way, and to know that we are ultimately aiming to rise our frequency, which means that we need to learn how to do that. So we're not going to be perfect every day. We're here, we're human. We make mistakes, we make errors, but it's self-forgiveness every step of the way is really, really important. So I just want to share that little bit of story. Yeah, so I just hope you enjoy this little extract. It's about the rising frequencies on Earth, the way that it can affect us. And it's just wisdom from my client's higher self, which I found really beautiful and I really enjoyed listening to. And also about anyone else out there that's a light worker that's feeling like they are being called to move to a different location at the moment. It's about sort of coming to your new location and what you may be doing there. It's like of creating this grid work across the globe, and that is how we're helping Ascension fundamentally. So I find it really interesting. So I'm sending lots of love to everybody, and I'll see you all again soon.
To spread the light of the new earth. We are all needed. All of us who are here to help with this evolution. We are all needed in different parts of the world. We need to be in those different places to spread our light, to establish the new earth, to plant the roots of the new earth, plant our energy. It's our energy. It's about all this work we have been doing all these years. We've elevated our frequency and we are still doing it now. We're going to get to the point where our frequency is the one that is needed to fully activate the new earth. This is when we will all have moved to the places that each one of us is needed. Each one of us energy is needed. And as we are all in place, it is in the energy. It's like a whole new net is being created between all of our hearts, all of us who are here to spread the light of the new earth, this new energy of love, of greatness, I want to say, really. And this is to be the full new earth fully activated. And that's going to take a few years, yes, because it's not just you moving or just me moving. It's all of us throughout the earth.
It does feel like there's a lot of people at this point in time that are thinking of relocating, changing.
Yes,
A lot of shifting going on right now.
We are all going where we need to go, where we are needed. Not us, but our energy, our light is needed there in specific places. Just like where you are now and where I am now, and everywhere we all have been throughout our lives. We have been every time like elevating the energy a little bit, elevating a little bit. And for me, for example, this is why I don't feel like I am needed here anymore. I can feel I am ready to depart from this city. because
Yeah.
I've done my work. It's done. I need to go to the next one now.
Yeah. That's what I feel like. I love it here and I could stay forever because I really do love it. But it also feels like I'm done here now and like, it's time for me to do this somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah, it's time for us to.
You are loving it here, but there is a part of you that is about to evolve very soon again.
Mm,
And you're going to feel at some point a form of disconnection because your frequency won't be aligned anymore with the place where you are now.
hmm.
Even
Yeah.
if you love it and you will have beautiful memories in it, it's not aligned. It's soon not going to be aligned anymore with
Hmm.
the with your evolved energy into
Hmm.
more of who you truly are in your essence.
Yeah. We would have been on a higher spiritual evolutionary level.
It's like that life was a practice for this life, for these lives here.
Okay.
It's like we were training
Okay.
to be on Earth at some point,
Okay.
something like that.
Certainly need training for this, don't you? Oh dear.
Yes, we do need training because for us, we are coming to serve here.
Okay. Yeah.
We're not just humans. And I'm not saying just humans in a negative way at all. All the contrary. We are here to serve the humans.
Hmm. So we came to be of assistance during this ascension
Yes.
cycle. Yeah.
Yes.
We have this understanding. We were wondering, like at our planning stage as souls, how do we trust that this is that we're being guided by like positive energy when we're planning our next lifetimes? How do we know that it's not the false white light? Is this part of our also part of our spiritual evolution and the process of discernment that we need to also learn discernment when we're not within the body? Is this?
Yes.
Mhm.
This is the experience.
Okay?
Everyone has been trapped by the false light.
Everybody.
How do you know truth without knowing the lie?
Okay.
And that is valid in this physical reality,
Hmm.
but it's also valid in the other one.
Hmm. So it's not to be feared that we're being tricked and we're never going to know what is real and what is not. It's just simply about
By
trust.
fearing it, you create it again.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
It's not about fearing that external light. It's about
Mhm.
trusting your internal one.
Yeah. So it's just as simple as that, just learning to reconnect with that inner light to understand everything.
Fear will always slow you down, whatever the theme, the topic, the realm, the reality, the dimension. Fear will always slow you down.
Hmm.
Trust in yourself will always elevate you.
Hmm. So when she was feeling um, sickness or poorly, was this connected
Yes,
to the energies on Earth?
it is. It has to do, yes, with the ascension, but
Hmm.
it's not her own ascension. What she was told about her not needing to ascend because she's already ascended is
Hmm.
true, but
Hmm.
she's here to help others
Hmm.
ascend. So whenever she's not well, it's not her own energy that she's processing. It's what she has gathered from the others to help them, and she's
Hmm.
feeling for the others. But that
Okay.
is part of also where she can have an influence once she fully accepts her power and hmm, fully enable it, fully allow her own power to shine through completely, then she won't even have to get ill for the others anymore. She will be able to transmute the energy without having to have her own body suffer to do
Hmm.
that. Now, all these years, she's been doing it through suffering,
Yeah.
but she doesn't have to. That was because she didn't know who she was. She's remembering now more and more who she truly is.
Hmm.
And so progressively, she won't have to be ill anymore at all to transmute the energy. It will come
Hmm.
naturally. It's part of why she needs to remember. And that's why we're bringing so many people on her path to help her remember who
Yeah.
she is and what she's here to do and all that she's capable of.
Hmm.
The experience she had earlier in this session was what she was asking for.
Mm-hmm.
She has an idea of what she can expect, all that she can do.
So when the energies like are heightened on Earth, when there's more light flooding in, we were talking about the fact that we can be very tired, or we can like have negative emotions come up. So I always tend to find that during these times, my children can be very difficult to be around, to control. They can be very volatile, which in turn, like then I end up being volatile. So we kind of trigger each other, and like we can get into some quite sort of testing times. It can be quite difficult for all of us. I find it hard to cope with them, and I don't know what to do for the best, and then I can lose my temper. So it can like lead to some really quite sort of upsetting experiences within the family. Do you have any advice of how we can better cope with that, or is it all about me just learning to be a better parent?
It's in the moment of trigger. We need to remember who we truly are and what we believe in, and stay in our power. Every time we lose our temper, we lose sight of who we truly are, and we allow ourselves to go back to what is the easy behavior, which is not the nicest, but it's the easiest.
Yeah.
And we fall back into it. But if you notice, you've been doing this much less this past few years, this past few months, still doing it. But because none of the two of you has fully accepted her full power, there is more to come.
I sometimes feel like I'm not setting a good example. I feel like I'm sort of showing my children how not to behave. And then I feel really guilty and awful. Like, when am I going to get it right?
You are a human. This is the human side of you. This is another program that you need to remove from within you. It's the program just hurting yourself even more. No point.
So when we overcome all of this and we sort of remain in our power and we're more centered, will we be able to experience our own personal ascension, as we elevate into more light, and we're holding that within every waking moment?
Do you mean like, are you going to feel differently with the ascension?
Yeah, will we hold that feeling of peace, love, and contentment?
How do you feel today compared to 2 years ago or 5
Yeah,
years ago?
more peace, more calm.
You're elevating.
Yeah, true. More self-acceptance, more acceptance of others.
What you aspire to is what you know is possible, is what you know exists. It's already there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't aspire to that if you didn't have the deep knowing that it's there.
It's true. We know that we can get there, don't we? I feel like I've been stuck in a bit of a loop.
All this old energy and all the trauma and all the pain and all the difficulties, everything is coming back again up, but not because it's actually here, but because it just needs to be fully released. So it's not fully real in a way.
Yeah.
And it's temporary. But because you know that, remind yourself to not attach to it.